going, okay, I'm finally up on YouTube, but kind of getting their energy going. I've been talking to a couple of them this week, and especially today, of people that are trying to amplify their energy, try to get things going in the right direction. But it's one of those, sometimes like when you get home from work, you're like tired, and how do you do this and how do you work with that? That's the kind of thing that I think really helps people to know, is sometimes it's just knowing what works for your energy, or how to amplify what you're trying to do. That's one of the best parts of kind of really amping this up. So finally, I'm on Facebook as well. So let's see, I've got Jade, I've got Caitlin. So Jade says she meditates and cleans the house. So one of the things that I really love is to kind of try some things to kind of really amplify, like especially like my desk area, because it's one of those. I know a lot of people working from home right now, and that can be really stressful on people. But it's one of the simple things that you can do, I think is really kind of cool, is doing incense. So I burn a lot of incense. My favorite one is called dragon's blood. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, dragon blood. It's not. It's from a plant. It's one of those. It's really amping up your energy. So Debbie's saying she bakes or cooks, maybe mess with. It's one of those. Debbie, since you bake and you cook, you probably are a earth sign, especially getting in the garden, getting into the energy of playing in the dirt. It makes it so much easier. So people have different things. One of the things that I love, like besides incense, and I do that quite often, is playing music. And that's what Kristen is saying, is music helps her out the most. Then Kristen, you're probably an air sign, and then getting out and walking on the beach. Some people really need that open air, that kind of, who's that saying that? Regina's saying that too. Music, definitely. I think that's the easy part, is like putting on music that really amplifies your energy, that really gets your energy going. Kind of, hi, Miss Carmen, is like amplifying your energy in everyday life. So some of the cool things that I have found is certain essential oils will actually help me amplify my energy, help me kind of relift myself. Like I said, dragon's blood is one, and it's a plant extract from the stem, so it's kind of grounding at the same time, but it's floral, but not too floral at the same time. It's one of my favorites. So one of the other things I think is kind of cool is you can burn sage, and that can kind of lift your energy and lift your spirit, and amplify a little bit more. So this is just loose sage. I can put that in a dish or something like that, and kind of light a few of them, and that can just light the energy, kind of lighten it out for me. One of the weird things is having things that are spherical around where you normally get kind of clogged up in your energy, can kind of swirl your energy. Especially if you have a circular salt lamp, that will also swirl the energy. Keeping it cleansed, keeping it going in the right direction. Salt lamps of certain shapes and sizes will do this easier than others. I like this one because it's pointed, so it kind of like directs your energy. And this one used to have, it got the cord pulled out of it, but it used to have like a little light in there, and it would change colors. And this is one that I love to keep on my desk and kind of just amplify my current energy and what's going on, and kind of keeping up with that. But music, along with everything that we're talking about, can really lighten your energy. I've just noticed that, like for myself, with other people, it's kind of like, what can we do? What can we do to lighten the energy? So one of the things that I have found is using different essential oils is one that I really like. So tell me, what is your favorite essential oil? What is yours? One of my favorites is frankincense. It is like a heavier kind of musky kind of smell to it, and that can really lighten up the energy wherever you're out at. It's kind of, that makes it a little bit easier to work through things. Let's see. Jasmine can do the same thing. And then, like I said, use burning sage will also amplify energy. And sometimes when we get to certain fragrances in our system, lavender for most people is a very light and bright fragrance for people. So Regina saying, Young Living Joy. I do like Young Living products. I love them. I've not tried the Joy. I will have to try that one. One of my absolute favorites that they have is, I'm trying to think. I think it's called Abundance. It's one of my favorite scents. It's got like a great, you know what I'm saying, like earthy smell to it. Kind of really helps me. And then Kristen saying, how funny. I have joy. I have joy out. Yeah, it's one of those oils will really amp you up. So let's see. Jonathan is saying lavender. Carmen is saying, I like citrus fragrances and the smell of cinnamon and clove. Actually, one of my cinnamon and clove combinations that I really, really love is called Thieves Oil. And that's one that I love because most of the time when I find lavender, it is, it's not an extract from the plant. What it is chemically made, because so many things have lavender and it can be expensive to grow because it takes a while and that sort of thing. And so it's almost cheaper to do it in, in smaller quantities. So it costs a lot of money. So, but I love different fragrances. One of my other ones, I was thinking, spearmint is one of mine that kind of can just amp up your energy. What was the other one I was thinking about? Just rosewood is another one. Does anybody like rose? Sometimes I think that is a scent that a lot of I don't want to say older people, but people, I'm saying, it's like as we get older, we really enjoy that fragrance. The other one I think is really funny is I get amplified by ginger. It's got like such a sweet tart smell to it, and it's one of those that is something that really will. Jonathan says eucalyptus. That is, I love eucalyptus. It can be a little overpowering a little bit. I still love it, but it's one of those I love putting on. That's what Regina's saying as well, or Southern. No, Southern is saying that as well. Eucalyptus is one that I really, really love. Have y'all ever tried like different types of tea? They do make a eucalyptus tea, and you can find it usually in Indian stores, and that's a really, really good one. I also love jasmine tea and then chamomile tea, and it's kind of just not just the fragrance of it, because you're getting to taste it as well. So that can really amplify up. I will tell you though, my absolute favorite is dragon's blood, because you've got that combination of that earthy smell to it, and then you've got a little bit of like the fragrance to it. Regina is saying older people are attracted to rose because that's probably true. That, Regina, you get a gold star for the day. That is probably true. Rose is one that can amplify your energy really easily, and kind of give you like a new lease on life. And I think that's the best part of doing that. And I do think that that's one of the fragrances that's in Joy, if I remember correctly, that it is one that you can find in the fragrance of Joy. I think that's one of them that is there. One of the other things that people can try is stones. So I love stones because they can help amplify and clear out your energy, and that can really make you kind of energize. So tell me what your favorite stone is. Tell me what your favorite stone is. I will tell you a couple of mine. Let's see. I love sodalite, and it's a necklace that I wear quite often. This one is a shell. I've been wearing that for a couple of days. Clear quartz crystals are another one that I really love. Let's see. Amethyst is a really cool one. Rose quartz. Let's see. Any others? Any others that are your absolute favorite? Tourmaline. It's one of those. Tourmaline is one of my favorites. I wish I could find a necklace that I really liked in tourmaline. The last one I found was like too big or too chunky for me, and I really didn't like it. Um, uh, let's see. Tiger's Eye is another one I found in beads, and I'm going to be making a necklace for myself pretty soon. And it's a golden eye tiger. So it's one of those. It's really a great like yellow color to it, and I'm like drawn to yellows, even though yellows don't like me. It's one of those. I love that. So that's one of the things that I'm gonna be putting on as a necklace. Let's see. Carillion is another one that really amplifies my energy. So let's see. Carmen is saying moonstone and amethyst. I love my amethyst, and I have like, I think I want to say like 3 or 4 of them, different sizes and different dimensions. So that is something that can really amp up your energy, especially as you get like tired in the middle of the day or get tired in the middle of your day, of kind of like how to amp up energy and how to amplify it even more. Trying to see if there's another one that kind of catches my eye on here. Black obsidian can be one. I'm trying to think. Laborite can be one. This is a crystal that I have had on my desk for quite a while, and this is a crystal that I pulled out. I know it doesn't look like too much of a crystal. It's a really old one, and then it has a lot of faults in it. And I love, kind of like just rubbing that in my hands and clearing out my energy and getting ready for kind of amplifying what's about to happen or what's about to come in. So I've got some lavender here. I'm not a true fan. It's still a little bit strong in this, but emerald. Oh, Jonah, that's a good one. Emerald is one that can really kind of amplify your energy, but really also kind of like open up your heart chakra to kind of like open up that energy to what's coming in. Lavender can be the same way. It can really open up your heart chakra in a lot of ways. One of the things that I think is really fun to do is, have you ever tried a pine cone? A pine cone is a really great way to amp up your energy, and you kind of think about it, and they almost stair step around. So when you put it straight sticking up, it swirls the energy up. And so just having a bowl of pine cones on your coffee table or in your space can be just like uplifting in a kind of a fun, interesting kind of way. And so I have a bowl of pine cones in my living room, and I love to have them kind of just swirl up the energy, especially when they're closer to me, like on the coffee table where you're close to sitting near them. So that's kind of like a really cool way to amp up your energy. And then the other thing you can do is, on your pine cones, that you can actually put some of your essential oils. And so as the air moves around, the air conditioner, heater, whatever else, can amplify the fragrance as well. So a lot of times I'll put a couple of drops of essential oils on my pine cones, and that will really amp up my energy. One of the other things that I love to do, which is kind of cleansing energy as well as kind of amping it up, I will make a tub of pink Himalayan sea salt, and then add like some mineral oil to it, and then a couple of drops, and it's kind of like about a full cup of pink Himalayan sea salt, that fine grade, and then about a half a cup or so of mineral oil, and then mix those together, and then add a fragrance to it. And as you clean your hands and you're working it, it kind of amps it up. So Carmen is saying, love cinnamon scented pine cones at Christmas. I love the cinnamon scented ones. They can be overwhelming. I can get overwhelmed really easy by the fragrances of things. So I'm really try to do a little bit at a time. I remember when, I want to say like, it's been a long time, but when they would have the pine scented brooms that you could put on the wall during Christmas time, and that was really great. I do think it's kind of more of a Christmas thing, but it's one of those, if you had pine cones, I think you can wear them, anytime. But you could put fragrances on that any time of year, and that would just amp up your energy and kind of keep you going. Something that's going to stimulate you, your mind, your kind of your thinking, what's coming up next. One of the oils that we haven't talked about at all in this is one of my favorites is rosemary oil. Rosemary does wonders for directing your energy and amplifying. And then it also does really wonders to kind of like stimulate your brain, like what's coming up next. What do I need to be taking care of? Kind of like bringing those things up to the forethought of what's coming up next. So this is a really great one. Pine cones and putting the fragrance on there. Let's see. Is there any other fragrances that you love that that we haven't talked about? Anything else that that we haven't talked about that you want to? I'm trying to think. That is one that I absolutely love, is kind of putting them on things. So I just like fragrances. So I know there's still a lot of planets in retrograde. We are dealing with a lot of planets in retrograde right now, and we've got some others coming on board. So we've got Pluto starting in retrograde. It started in January. It hasn't gotten all the way to slowing, like it's full stop yet, but it's in that area. And Pluto brings, in a sign of Capricorn, is going to bring a lot of change to people, and something that we're going to kind of feel our personal drive kind of amping up, things that we want to fix or change or modify for ourselves. And so this is something to kind of really think about as this energy keeps coming on. What are things that we can do to continually keep ourselves going? I love to do my incense and meditate, and then kind of really focus in on what's coming up next, and then get up and do those things. And then usually I'll light another incense and do another meditation. So kind of just working that very easy on us, and kind of coming in. Mercury is almost completely out of retrograde, back into full going on mode. It has been in the sign of Aquarius, which has also, I think, has very interesting, brought up a lot of jealousy for a lot of people. I have noticed that in what I do and talking to people, but it's kind of really amplified a lot of people's jealousy. And I think that's been like quite interesting. People that normally aren't really jealous are bringing up jealousy issues. And then that's where some of the oils or some of the stones can help kind of work through that. Uranus is still in retrograde. It is not in full retrograde. It is in its post shadow, so it's starting to speed back up, and it will be completely out of retrograde as of April 30th. And that's something that's just kind of some energy that's coming at us. And so it's kind of like restricted us in a lot of ways, being in retrograde, and now it's about to kind of unleash all of that energy back into the world. And it's one of those, as Uranus and several of the other planets get together and kind of do their dance over the next few months or so, this is going to amplify that need to kind of focus in on what we need to take care of, and focusing in on what we want to do or accomplish. That's going to be a really fun one. Saturn is really one that I have been keeping an eye on lately. Saturn went into retrograde January 14th. It will be in full retrograde cycle. It went into full retrograde cycle. Let's see, February 14th. And it will, let's see, no. It went into retrograde February 14th. It will full retrograde from May 23rd to October 10th. That one is the one to watch. Saturn is the planet of karma. And so people that have kind of had issues in the past, or things that they've done wrong, or not treated other people correctly, or those sort of things, it's going to be amplifying their kind of like their karma kind of coming back to get them. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's us doing it. It's like kind of like the cosmos, the world, the gods, kind of like, you need to kind of put this together and kind of make amends for what you've done in the world. It won't be out of retrograde until January of 2022. And so that is one that's really, a lot of people are keeping an eye on it. So I kind of like, as the energy conjuncts and connects with other people. So that is just one of those issues that people have been dealing with. Saturn also kind of can bring up lifelong challenges for people and kind of bring that to the forefront. Things that you've thought you've kind of worked through in the past, it can bring that up and kind of bring that to light again. So that can be a little overwhelming. So let me pull a couple of cards for us and see what else comes through. And so let's see. So the first card I get is all about freedom. This is kind of what we've been dealing with Uranus, and kind of feeling like we're finally getting out of this, and finally, thank you, Gia, kind of moving forward in all of this is kind of getting out of what we've been dealing with and kind of opening up ourselves to a different type of freedom than we've had before. And I also feel like there's a lot of people that will be moving forward that will feel like it's now my turn to be heard. The next card I get is all about abundance. And this is kind of takes me into the word of music. So kind of abundance. And if you say it really slow, you'll get what I'm talking about, abundance. And this can be really amazing to amp up your energy and kind of bring us through what we've all been going through, and getting your voice heard. Abundance are things around us all the time. And sometimes we forget that they're there, or we forget to kind of keep our eyes open for it. Let's see. New love. This is something that I have found with a lot of people coming in. Some of the conjunctions that Jupiter and Saturn and Uranus are going to have later on this year is going to amplify our desire for love. It's going to amplify our connections with other people in love, and kind of bring us to like a new understanding of what we want to bring into our planet. And it doesn't always have to be a new boyfriend or girlfriend or husband. It can be new things that you just love, or friends that you really cherish or work well with. So that is something as well. I feel like it was two cards. It's not, it's one. So there are miracles all around us all the time. And so this is a really great card to let us know. I was talking to a client today, and she was like, I really don't ever see miracles. They're around us all the time. They are everywhere. Yet sometimes we forget to kind of take notice of them, or realize that it really is a miracle all around us. That is something that we often forget to do, and kind of realize like, hey, this was a creator energy that brought this together, or this is a great combination for a lot of us. There is a lot of that energy. I'm gonna take just a moment. If y'all are still on, I know a lot of y'all are still on there. Can you like and share? It's one of those, I so appreciate that. It's an abundance for me to open up my energy to you guys and to share myself with you. Hey, Miss Carmen. But bringing in new light and love, and share and like, and even comment on. I love hearing your comments. And then I've also got like a whole bunch of new videos that are going to be launching. If you got my newsletter, you got everything all at the same time. And someone was like, oh my gosh, this is so much. I was like, take it easy, do a little bit at a time. But my newsletter has all of these all at the beginning of the month. So you know, kind of like a heads up of what's about to happen. And then on top of that, it's one of those, they will be coming out on Facebook and Instagram, Facebook and YouTube later on this month as they come up. My last card I'm pulling for us is all about playfulness. Something that I think a lot of us end up doing at some point is kind of forgetting to have fun, forgetting to kind of enjoy what we're doing or going through. We get into I've got to do work, and I've got to go here, and I've got to accomplish these things. That's something that can really overwhelm us, and can really kind of de-amplify our energy if we're always like, go, 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 what's coming up next. Enjoy what you're doing. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, you might be doing something wrong. You might be doing like the wrong job or the wrong career field. You should be enjoying what's happening, enjoying what's coming in at you as we keep moving through what's going on around our planet and what's going on around the world. I thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. I will hopefully be on live next March 11th, and that is a really good one. The other thing is a lot of people have really been liking and sharing the Thursday Night Live I did last week. And I did kind of the energies of March, kind of what numerology is talking about for March, and kind of how to amp up a lot of that energy that's coming in and around us in March. March has some really powerful days in it, and some really abundant days that we can take advantage of this energy. And that's something really important to take advantage of and enjoy this time frame. Enjoy your abundance, and I thank you so much for joining me. I will hopefully seeing you next week. I will post on all platforms if I'm going to be on live on Thursday. And I thank y'all so much for joining me. Y'all have a great night. Thank you, guys.